Today I'm going to talk about comparison of herbal medicine and Western medicine in their difference of menopause treatment. Okay, first I want to talk about, do you know what is menopause? You know that women would have period per month, right? So menopause means the 12 months later after a woman's last period. So my mom is getting older now, so I found out that she has a lot of different symptoms that she had never had before. So I started this research. And my motivation is that why women choose Western medicine more than herbal medicine? And what are the differences between the two types of medicine? Okay, and first common symptom is hot flashes. It means that your body temperature rises in a short time and has some red spots in your body, upper body. Okay, in herbal medicine, the common way to deal with this problem is done with peony formula. The profession is, if you are pregnant, you should take care of it. You can't easily take it. And the materials it used is in the right side. And the acupuncture spots are the three ways to deal with this problem. The second common symptom is heart palpitation, and it means that your blood pressure rises in a short time and you will feel hurt in your heart. And in herbal medicine, we use cinnamon and helen formula. And if you are on period or 3 days after your period and you can't take it, here's also the acupuncture point, and you can. The third common symptom is depression. It means you will feel anxiety or your mood swings very fast, like you are happy in this second and maybe you cry in that minute. In herbal medicine, we use thorough and peony formula, and the materials is under the PowerPoint, and there are a lot of materials in this formula. And the profession is that if you are easily getting cold and you can't take it. Here's also the acupuncture point. Okay, now is the Western medicine. In Western medicine, we usually use hormone therapy to deal with menopause problem. And here's are three ways to deal with it. Number one is estrogen, and number two is sequential, and number three is combined. And all these estrogen can deal with women without uterus. If you are taking the sequential, you can't take, you have to take estrogen first. And then after you take 12 to 14 days, you have to take estrogen with the sequential time. And the third one is taking estrogen at projection per day. Okay. The side effects is that, and if you take sequential and combined way, you may easily get irregular bleeding maybe every month or each week. Okay, and this is also Western medicine, but it is the prescription way. Okay, here's our 3 drugs. Number 1 is collagen, and the number 2 is gabapentin, and number 3 is parastin. Here, the three are all deal with hot flashes, but parastin can also deal with depression. For the top 2 are all for women. Like you can take it. Number 1, collagen is for the woman who don't want to take estrogen, and for gabapentin is also for women who don't want to take the top estrogen. And parastin is for people who is also take MAOIS. Okay, for side effects, both collagen and gabapentin will lead you want to sleep. But collagen is like make you sleep for about 12 hours, and gabapentin is make you really want to sleep. And parastin is you can't if you are taking the Nolvadex, and you can take it because it will efficient the 2 sides of medicine. My research methods is to literature reviews and integrate data and compare the differences. Okay, my conclusions. I found out that most of women if they face this problem, they would choose to go to a hospital and take Western medicine first. They don't even think about herbal medicine. My suggestion is that not only the government or the herbal medicine doctor who are working on this herbal medicine should popularize more information on the internet, because I found out that people are not know well for herbal medicine, because I think it's like because we take Western medicine in our daily lives, like if you are getting cold or you are have some cough, and you will go to a clinic and you will go to a doctor and they will give you Western medicine. So I think it is very important to make people know more about herbal medicine. And I think the professors should study more about herbal medicine and Western medicine, because in like European people, like they don't even know what is herbal medicine. So we can't just let this medicine just disappear in our daily life, because it is very useful. Here's my literature study, and thanks for listening.
Okay, before I let you ask questions, I have a few comments, a few suggestions for Eileen. So first of all, you forgot to face your audience, eye contact. You look at your PowerPoint most of the time, which is not good, okay? And secondly, did you refer to Taylor's suggestion? Did you tell her to change herbal medicine to traditional Chinese medicine?
That might have been on the old one
The old PowerPoint.
when they were still together. I don't remember
Alright,
which one.
so just for the record, actually you should put it traditional Chinese medicine instead of herbal medicine. Because thanks to Taylor, he clarified the difference. He told me that because in Europe countries, they also use herbal medicines, but in a different way. Okay, so we should correct it to traditional Chinese medicine. Okay, all right, so Louis, you may ask now.
How did you know most of them choose the Western medicine in your conclusion?
Because I searched some information on the internet and I found out that most of the women, when they face this problem, they will choose Western medicine.
Do you know the percentage?
Maybe, I think it's, I think it's 55% of the women will choose.
More, about half, 55, more than half. Okay, Louis, any other questions? No? Okay, how about the rest of you? Come on, think. Use your brain.
You said, like a lot of you, I think specifically you said European people don't often choose the Chinese medicine or the herbal medicine. Did you research that, or is that just an assumption you're making?
I know that I searched that some people in the Western side they would have herbal medicine, but I think it's like you said that they would take the traditional Chinese medicine. They won't take us how we have.
So she's talking about the traditional Chinese medicine.
Right. I mean, that's okay. Let's use this term so we're all clear. When you did you actually research like how much or what percent of European or Western people use?
No, I didn't research it.
I didn't do the research either, but I know it's actually rising quite a bit. And
Really?
a lot of acupuncture and
Yes, acupuncture is very.
a lot of these things are rising. A lot
Really?
of I'll call them alternative medicines because it might be Ayurvedic, which is from India, India and Nepal area, traditional Chinese medicine, and so all of these kind of holistic natural things are maybe not in the mainstream.
Yeah,
but
because
certainly,
I thought Europeans are more focused on science, something that has scientific foundation.
For sure, absolutely. But these things are on the rise.
Okay.
Again, I want to be clear. This is more anecdotal,
Okay.
and what you hear.
Personal opinion.
What you hear in articles and stuff. But these articles are not scientific articles. These are just news articles. That's why I wanted to ask about if you had researched this, because I am curious about actual numbers.
Okay, and I heard a phrase for you today, alternative treatment. Everybody, you can put it down. Do you know the phrase? Alternative treatment. What's that? Anybody knows? Raise your hands to let me know if you know the phrase. Yeah, good job. Say it louder. See, William and Ren, they are good. Okay, give us a hand. Yeah, alternative treatment. So it's not the way that the scientists probably would approve of, but for some people, they think these are useful. Okay?
For example, I had a boss years ago now, 6 or 7 years ago. He had vertigo, which is like the condition where you walk and you feel kind of dizzy.
I had vertigo too, in Shenzhen. I told you, remember?
And he went to doctors for a while, and then he tried acupuncture, and he was having really good results. So I remember he would always like, oh, acupuncture is the best, you have to try it.
It's just some people think that is useful. So just for your reference. Okay, any other questions? Think. Come on, everybody, think. Use your brain and think. Any other questions? No more? Are you sure? Okay, then I have one question for Eileen. Eileen, so after your research, which method would you choose to treat menopause when you turn old?
Like what I said, now people usually take Western medicine, right? So I hope that when I face this problem, I hope I can take both.
So you would adopt the combined method.
Yes.
Okay, so you would even try acupuncture?
Yes, I think.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you for your presentation. Give her a big hand. Come on. All right, next group, William Ryan Rand. Please get onto the stage. Yeah, fluent.
The whole time in that.
Actually, Eileen, your presentation is good. Just for the eye contact part is not so good.
The clarity was very nice. It was very continuous, easy to follow. But the eyes were really bad.
Okay, Ren, you may start now. He is Ren.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Ray. Okay, so today our topic is research and improvements about the military-grade engine, TFE 1042. Yeah, and these are our contents. Yeah. First, introduction. Do you know that actually Taiwan has made an aircraft with America's technique support? Yeah, and the aircraft is called FCK-1, and 经国号战机. Yeah, and this aircraft was not so pleased by our people. And does anyone know why? No. Okay, so I'll just figure out the answer. Because it doesn't have enough. It's considered that it's not having great enough performance. Yeah, and so we're curious about we are curious about that, and so everyone knows that the most important of an aircraft is its engine. So this is why we set our topic as research about engines. And these are our purpose. First, learn how military aircraft engines work, and compare the performance and requirements of advanced engines. Then analyze the requirements of the TFE 1042 setup, and discuss difference and improvements methods. Yeah, and our abstract is to know how this engine works, then to find out its problems, and then develop an theoretical solution.
Okay, we're going to talk about the literature review. And as you can see on the screen, there are two section view of engine, and you can see a single engine is combined, is built with multiple components, and these are the basic components that make the engine work. And now I'm going to talk about how exactly the engine works, how exactly the engine makes output power. So first, the incoming airflow right here. The incoming airflow go through the engine. Part of the airflow was captured by a vent, captured by the engine fan, and go through the compressor, get pressure, go through the burner, get heated, and go through the cylinder all the way down to the nozzle, and another part of the airflow that wasn't captured by the fan go through the bypass, which is the blue part here. Yeah, the bypass, and it also goes down to the nozzle. And these parts of air, we call it the cold air. And the air, as for the air that go through the compressor, go through the cold part, we call it hot air. And two kinds of airflow, which means the cold and the hot mix together in the nozzle and get pushed out by the nozzle. That is what we call thrust. That is what we call the output power.
The next part is research methods. First, we choose a topic, then we collect information about it. We've read some books about engines and some official data from their websites. After collecting information, we analyze them into two main parts. First, the working principle of the engine. Second, the brief history.
And after that, we have our conclusion. Okay, now we move on to the analyzing results. This is the picture of the engine named TFE-1042, one of the main objects our research is about. And this engine is the power of the FCK-1 single fighter that Frank just mentioned. And this engine is produced by our Air Force and an American corporate named Gary. And about the problem that Frank just mentioned, the engine inefficiency problem, that is not true. That's because the requirements from the Air Force is 8,800 pounds of the thrust, but the maximum military thrust from the TFE-1042, that means include the afterburner, it's 9,250 pounds. So there's absolutely no problem with the insufficient engine thrust. And this is another object. The main object we compare with our TFE-1042, named SNECMA M88, which is the power of the French fighter Dassault Rafale. And the Rafale is the multiple purpose fighter that French use now. As you can see, this is the diagram that we made to compare the data performance between two engines. And this is the main point, thrust. And we're going to talk about why these two data what caused the difference between the thrust. First, the length of the engine. As you can see, the length of the M88 is 139.3 inches, but the length of the TFE-1042 is 102.1 inches. So obviously, the TFE-1042 is shorter and its weight lighter, as you can see. And the main points, the compressor. The M88 used 6-stage axial compressor, but the TFE-1042, which used 4-stage axial compressor and the first-stage centrifugal chamber. But why? Why we use why we use the first-stage centrifugal chamber, not the 4 stages of axial compressor? That's because although the centrifugal is more easy to repair, easy to produce, but the output power that he made compared to the axial compressor is more lower. So, but why? Why we use the less efficiency parts in our engine? It all boils down to the size of the aircraft. Basically, the Jinko FCK-1 is a smaller plane than the Dassault Rafale, so it's impossible to fit a big engine in a small plane.
The next part is conclusion and suggestions. After our research, we found that the FCK-1 did and the TFE-1042 did reach the RCAS requirements. And the problem about its insufficient thrust is not true. People think this way is because they did learn about the real requirements from the RCAS and the difficulties during the research of the FCK-1 in the indigenous defense fighter and its engine TFE-1042. Although the related technologies about its core machine is still lagging behind the world average, but the TFE-1042 is not a degraded product. And this page is about a suggestion to improve the engine. First, we can increase the length of the engine, and it it can improve the acceleration time of the airflow in the engine. The longer the time is, the more power and the more faster the airflow can be. Then we can increase the fan's diameter. It can raise the compression capability of the fan. And these two movements will increase the mass and the volume of the engine. So we need to reconsider whether to redesign the IDF or just design a new generation fighter aircraft. And as for the redesign of the compressor, it is necessary to remove the old centrifugal chamber. If we can change it into the full-stage axial compressor, so the thrust will be enhanced. But the technologies about the compressor is really hard. Only a few countries have the mature technology. So it is, if we can cooperate with countries or companies that have the related technologies, we can introduce technology and cultivate talented people. This is our reference. Thank you.
All right, any questions for them? Okay. Next.
What is the solution if the engine doesn't have enough source?
Pardon, please. Pardon. That means say it again.
What is the solution if the engine doesn't have enough source?
We make the engine bigger, but if the bigger engine can't fit in the plane we have now, we need to redesign a new generation fighter to put the big engine inside.
Is there any system like a car's supercharger or turbocharger can make the engine have more power?
We can
So basically,
the afterburner.
the engine is
Afterburner,
powered by
Yeah, the afterburner.
Most modern gliders are equipped afterburner after the turbine. If the afterburner broken, what will happen?
Basically, it won't have any differences between this engine, but it have difference between the speed because when the pilots use the afterburner, the speeds of the plane will increase, of course. But if the afterburner is broken, the speed will not increase even you push the button.
So will it stay in the sky?
Yeah, of course, the engine will still work, but the afterburner won't.
Can the afterburner equip on this fighter?
Yes, the Jingle did have the afterburner on its engine. It's right, the rear parts, as you can see, maybe not so clear here.
Okay, you two are very professional. So can I ask one question? According to James' questions, I have a doubt. So, what kind of power do these firefighters use? Fuel or electricity?
Of course, fuel. Electricity plane is not so, the technology of electricity plane is not so
stable?
Not so stable, yeah, not so stable in these, in the years.
So then he mentioned about supercharger. What is supercharger? You mentioned about supercharger, right? So what is supercharger? Is it like one airplane, probably the mothership, and fly to the small airplanes and plug the fuel, just fill it up, something like that? What's the supercharger? Okay. All right. Because I don't know James just told me that supercharger is only for cars, not for airplanes. Sorry. So he is asking, is there something similar to the supercharger? And I think William just answered that. There is something like afterburner, right?
Yeah, the afterburner.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
What is the afterburner principle?
What? Pardon, please. Principle. Okay. Basically, how did the engine increase the airflow speed? As you know, we pressure and slow down the airflow right here, and we heat the airflow at here, the burner, and basically the afterburner will be put in this place after the nozzle. And just like what the burner do, the afterburner heats the airflow again, make it more hotter.
Do you know how much power will it increase after equip afterburner?
Good question.
Basically, it depends on the engine. For example, G1042, the thrust of the G1042 is about, you can see here, 6,000 pounds. But after we use the afterburner, it's increased to 9,250 pounds. So it's like 2,000 something pounds, or almost 3,000. Oh yeah, sorry, 3,000.
So about 50% increase.
That depends on the engine. Depends on the technology the country has or the corporation has.
But if you equip the air afterburner, the weight is increased, right? It's also increased.
Yeah, but the thrust also increased. So if you add the afterburner, right? And the weight increase, but the increased thrust cannot push the plane. That means afterburner is useless. So we won't add that. That means we add the afterburner to that can increase the speed of the plane, not to make the plane heavier.
According to the Furnace principle, the fighter in a high speed has more pressure, can still stay on the sky. Then why we need to equip afterburner? Is it for the fighter to fight or for the airplane to fly?
The afterburner, basically in modern air fights, is used at the time when the plane takes off or the plane is engaging with enemy fighters. The time the two aircraft are having a dogfight. Dogfight means, let's speak Mandarin, 狗斗，就是两台飞机用机炮竞争对射。
所以它会增加耗油量的。
对，开过冷气会让你的油箱油很快就是降到底，但是它会让你在短时间起非常多的速度。
那如果
In English, because Taylor is here.
if the food, if we're running out of food, fuel, then we are running out of fuel. Will the plane still fly in the sky?
Yeah, of course. You still have the wing. The wing, the plane is made by the fuselage and the wing and the engine. So if the engine's not working, but you're still at maybe 1,000 feet in the sky, you're still flying. You're not just going to be.
Why?
You're gliding, just like the
Airflow?
Yeah, just the airflow will push you, but you're still getting down slowly.
Slowly?
Yeah.
It's like a glide, right?
Yeah, of course, the glide.
Okay, good. Any other questions? You two are excellent. Good presenter and good question raiser.
I have a question.
Okay.
First of all, I think you should hire him to join your group.
He was
one of them, but But later they found that their studies questions,
Right.
I mean directions.
Did the F1, right?
Yeah, F1.
Yeah, okay, wow. You guys are.
Good job.
I don't have enough questions.
You impressed me today.
Yeah, I'm not that technical with this stuff, so unfortunately I'm a bad mechanic. But I'm curious, so imagine you are Tsai Ing-wen. I give you $50 billion to buy airplanes for Taiwan's army. Are you going to buy this airplane? Or are you going to buy an alternative
You mean
fighter jet?
the Dassault Rafale or the Tactical one? The Rafale?
Yeah, which one would you buy is what I'm asking.
This plane, we already have this plane equipped in our Air Forces, in our Air Force. But this plane is the new French fighter that's produced in recent years.
Okay.
But when a government, a country, buy a fighter jet, what you buy, it includes the fighter jet, the weapon, the repair components, and the technology. So this basically Taiwan's fighter, most of them is made by the US. So it's better for us to buy the US plane, not the French fighter, because for the Mirage 2000 that Taiwan already have, it's already the lack of the repair components already make the price of the single takeoff the price of a single takeoff will keep rising because of the lack of the repair components.
So you would buy this one from the Americans, or would you buy an alternative one from the Americans?
Basically, if you want to buy an alternative, a more advanced fighter from the US, that's impossible. Because another country, maybe another country that's near us, to China, won't let American to give us that advanced fighter like the F-33 or F-22 Raptor. So it's impossible for us to get a 5th generation or even higher grade fighter. But the F-15 from the US, or we can buy more F-16 from the US.
So China won't let you buy newer ones, but you can buy these ones?
Yeah, because for China, their Air Force already have 5th generation fighters. But for Taiwan, the KCF-1 is only 3rd generation. Right. It's very, very terrible. The plane is very bad. But our Air Force still have F-16 and Mirage 2000. Although the Mirage is, kind of.
Okay, I didn't know they controlled that.
Maybe because of our international diplomatic conflict or dilemma or hardship.
But it just seems like no planes or any plane, right? It's weird that they could, no, not that one, but this one's okay.
Actually, we don't have many choices because we cannot buy airplanes from France, cannot buy the airplanes from Germany because they won't sell us.
Right.
They will be afraid that the Chinese government will be irritated. They won't be happy about that.
That makes sense. Zero or everything.
Yeah.
It's funny that this is like, well, you can buy these older ones, no problem, but you can't buy them.
So this is all that we can do. William, you're prepared. Bravo! Thank you for your group. And now I think we have 10 minutes left, and you can either choose to finish your note-taking, or if you didn't finish the questionnaire that teacher Wang told you to fill out, then I need you to fill out the questionnaire. Give me a second. I need to find.
Good job.
但是黄老师，你直接把链接再投一次给我。
白色 supercharger 是用个活塞，只有活塞进去。我就是这样讲。好。很多人都是很多那个。
愿意这样做，我就写那次告诉他是这样。
只有9位同学，刚才老师念到的那9位完成，其他未完成。Please finish the questionnaire now. It is required by the